Bruno Esposito is a lot of different things. He's a dedicated father, an instrument maker,
He'll play anything, really. He can play anything. Any instrument. He just doesn't do that one-man band.
a pizza maker,
Also, he's like a chef or something. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't eat his food,
but to most he's known as international touring artist Lone Wolf One-Man Band. But ultimately to me, he's my friend.
Don't do the voice. Don't do the voice.
And as a fellow struggling musician, a friend is one of the most important things you can have. They're the ones those moments that you share creating just make the moments where you just want to give it all up a bit more bearable. And it's hard to see an end to any of this when you see this genius of a man who can make art out of anything go through these same struggles. And these struggles, they take a toll on you after a while. I've been pursuing music with my band The Barely Damned for about 10, 12 years now, and we've gone through more lineup changes than I care to remember or even remember at this point. I don't lie, it's hard, man.
You know what I mean?
I almost want to fucking tap out.
Yeah, you do?
But the purpose of this documentary is not for me to deal with an existential crisis or feed my crewmates to Bruno's ever undying hunger of weaker Street Fighter characters. This film serves to be a time capsule, or a portrait of a true artist, a legend whose name might not be on everyone's tongue.
He's a great friend outside of music,
Yeah.
and we've had each other's backs just in the like everyday life kind of thing, and that kind of genuineness is hard to find in the music industry.
There was points where, like I didn't have a residency. I had no address. I would just be staying with friends, but on the road. Yeah. And those were beautiful times, man. Yeah. On the road, there's a freedom that that just makes me feel good.
I met Bruno at Churchill's. It was both of our first one-man band gigs. And we didn't know each other. He was on the bill, I was on the bill. It was right before he went on tour with Blowfly. And I came in, he's like, are you Scotchy, you Uncle Scotchy? I go, yeah.
Like you've been cheating, but I really don't want to know.
He goes, you got a kick pedal I can borrow? I go, yeah. So I loaned it to him, and I had moved out of this place, and I was looking to move back in. And I talked to him, I says, where do you live? He goes, South Miami, I'm looking for a place to live. I go, me too. And I go, I got this place, like in the jungle, wood floors. I need a roommate, like tomorrow. And we got along really good. He came over the next day, checked out the floors, gave me the deposit, and he was about to go on tour with Blowfly, so he had some money. And then he moved in with me and known each other ever since.
No, you say check on the floors. They actually just come in.
He was stomping on the floors and making sure the wooden floors sounded good.
I met him in Texas one day. Oh no, I'm sorry, in Tennessee. I met him in Texas first, then Tennessee. Yeah.
Bruno, is it Texas or Tennessee?
When's the first time I met you, Bruno Esposito?
Tennessee?
When did I see you in Texas?
Southwest.
Yeah, in Austin, yeah.
We both had played in front of the Olympia Theater, and he was the following act. And I knew who he was. I saw him out, but I was impressed that I think he came after us and that he had taken the Metro rail there because the line got off right there, and it was near his house. And so he was already like a train hopper,
But to truly understand Bruno's brilliance, you first have to understand what a one-man band even does. It's as the name implies, it's a one-man band. And at any one point, both of his feet could be manipulating two different drum pedals, one under the toes and one under the heel. He could be playing guitar or banjo. You could be singing or even playing harmonica.
Like trans blues, that stuff from Mississippi, northern Mississippi, high country. That's like the only blues I listen to. R.L. Burnside.
Yeah.
You know.
And I imagine that's what drew
That's like a
you.
one-man band. That gives you that one-man band thing going.
And I imagine that's what drew you to Bruno. 'cause Bruno
Right, that's what, yeah. That's
Bruno's
what,
very-
and Bear.
I honestly can't remember the first time I saw him play. I was probably wasted drunk then, is what that means. But I can say that I've seen Lone Wolf one-man band more than I've ever seen any single other musical
Oh,
act.
absolutely. Me as well.
I've
Yeah.
probably seen him 3 times as many
Yeah,
times
yeah.
as you have. The consistency he brings is like admirable. It's like you know that it's gonna be like hard driving, and you know that the crowd is gonna dance.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
also,
every time.
as a fan, you know there's going to be these little variations.
Oh yeah, if you know the music as a fan or as a blues musician, like you can see what he's doing, and you really see the brilliance of what he's doing there. And
You almost
yeah.
like see it make like that split the section, like, yeah, I'm going to play it slow this time. You're like, I've never heard you play it slow like that. Like, that's amazing.
I feel like sometimes the music gets out from underneath you, so I don't know how much of a decision it is every time.
Yeah,
Then the other thing is like this, like the musicianship. In his early days when he would play banjo, even if you were familiar with one-man bands, familiar with banjos, living the life, he was faster than any other banjo player that I have ever seen, that many people have ever seen.
And that's probably where that punk rock kind of inspiration
Yeah, I think
influence.
a major country music tabloid of the time declared him the fastest modern banjo
No
player.
shit. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
It's like a little hurricane coming at you, right? The drums are going, there's shit going on. He's playing harmonica, and then that voice comes out. What about that voice? I mean, come on.
Shed time, little baby. What times we made you're ripped of your love like a band-aid.
Loud. I've been recording him with him a lot lately, and it like to hear it isolated, his voice. You're just like, wow, you could do anything. There's like a million people inside of you. What a beautiful voice. Like,
What?
that's rare, you know.
By yourself alone, you'll think of me, lady, and I'll be long gone. I'll be long gone and moved on. Long gone.
His whistling skills are above and beyond anything I've ever heard.
Yeah.
He's like a viola or something. I don't even know how to explain it.
Like one of the tracks, you just recorded a track where he was just walking around the house, you said?
His whistle's the Stradivarius of whistles. Yeah, there's a song that we did called the Wolf Waltz, and he was just whistling through the house, and I had recorded it, and then went and figured out what key it was in because he was perfectly in tune, and then we just built the whole thing around it. You can insert that song now.
because
he's-
you're one of his champions. You're one
He's
of his.
persistent. He's always there.
Yeah.
The one thing about musicians, it's not how good you are, it's if you're always there.
Yeah.
If you're always there, then you're going to see what's going on around your surroundings, and your music's going to change your surroundings. You get influenced, and you're going to keep going and going. And most musicians, they get famous or popular, and they go hide. And those musicians, they can go fuck themselves because they're not involved in the local scenes or in the other musicians. They're like, and they play the same shit for 40 years. Who gives a fuck? Okay. But there you go for your popular musicians. They're completely worthless, most of them.
But there's just something about Bruno that just kind of draws.
Well, I just said he's always there.
Yeah.
He's around. If there's something happening that's interesting, he'll be there.
But
That's the thing about Bruno. Is, he's and I'm me too. So guess what? Guess who the 2 or 3 knuckleheads are always around? Me, him, and whoever else is doing.
What makes someone like Bruno important to a local music scene? From your perspective as an artist, as a booker, as a promoter?
I mean, it's good to have a Bruno. Everybody kind of has a Bruno in their scene, but it's good that you're doing this because he's very unappreciated. The people that know him love him, but he's not good at the business as far as getting himself out there and marketing and stuff like that. He doesn't want to really work with anybody.
I mean, you had to have played all these Miami bars more than anybody else. How many times have you played Bar Nancy? How many times have you played Kill Your Idol? How many times have you played even Blackbird? Blackbird usually doesn't have shows. You played Blackbird at least 10 fucking times.
I'm kind of like the last minute guy though. Somebody cancels and they
You're the
call me.
last minute guy that everyone still doesn't want to fucking follow because you're just this tidal wave of just power and force. And the number one thing I'm curious about now.
Man, nobody goes to my shows. Nobody goes to my shows. Last night I had a gig, I won't say where, but I was doing my thing and just people were doing theirs, and they weren't very engaged. There wasn't even any applause, People are there doing their thing, which is totally respectful, You don't have to be listening to my music the entire time I'm there. I'm not that guy, I'm not gonna get mad if that happens. This dough came out like shit. Say it.
Came out like shit.
I've been doing this shit a long time. You can't even think about it. You can't worry about it. If it happens, it happens. If you're not happy with your craft and your art, just fucking stop. Stop trying. There's too many people, especially in a city like this. It's weird that we're stuck in the city because everyone's like, you should be somewhere else, you'd be doing great. But for our own reasons, we're stuck in Miami. And Miami's a place that I've grown to love in a lot of ways. It's gotten a lot cooler. I've always hated it. I like it now, but there's opportunities for a guy like this here, but it's not where everybody always says that they should be, but maybe it's good that he's here.
The rock stars end up dying musically. They're worthless. They stay there, and they just because they gotta feed people all these people's mouths and stuff because they can't go crazy. They can't do anything because he might start tanking and stop selling records or something like that. And then we're all going to starve to death. No, he doesn't want that.
Things are always going to change, bro. And there's always going to be people who want to do it for the wrong reasons. As long as you're aware and you know why we do this, it's okay. And try to educate people on that same feeling. You know what I mean? Because it's not about fame. It's not about, it's about therapy, man. And this is what people should, I think researchers should look more into music therapy because I've felt it. I know it. You know what I mean?
Would you say it helps you get out of bed in the morning sometimes?
150% every day.
Ryan, man, I take things as they come, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just do my thing, and I've always done it that way, And I'm very lucky that it's gone the way it has, and that I've been able to, make a, get by on life doing it. You know what I mean? Especially now with the help of Gino, which, I could be doing worse. I could be doing better.
Just like the guys that both of you are, these old guys that never left the state of Mississippi. not get discovered until after their death. Do you see that as part of his future? Do you think there'll be a renaissance of Bruno, a Brunaissance in 30 years?
I mean, I hope so, but it doesn't really matter. He's doing his thing, and that's it. And if he gets appreciated, he gets appreciated. I mean, it should be. The people that know him love him. He's one of those guys, if you don't like Bruno, you're probably an asshole. And he's just going to do his thing. He's going to be as real as possible. And if there's a market for that or something catches on like that, you know, it should. It would be like music karma.
You know what I mean? So,
I mean, you could just be like one of these, you know, unknown legends that we have found, like I mean, not Mississippi Fred McDowell, but you know, like the guy that made the Diddley Bow, that one Florida guy.
oh, he's my favorite.
What's his name?
Moses Doorman Williams. Yeah.
Lone Wolf could just be a Moses Doorjam Williams to some kid, just like Moses Doorjam Williams was to you.
Sure, man. I mean, I love that, man. I love that. One of the things that keeps me going is inspiring people. You know, I love to teach this. You know what I mean? And
you've taught
more
me,
people need to know this.
Look, you've taught me more than I can actually tell you. There's a reason why to this day, when I see you loading up and setting up your stuff, I will always try and like, no, I'll set up for you. Not just because I've seen you do it 1,000 times, like I'm like, maybe I can still do it by memory, but you've taught me so much. You have this elder statesman type thing that...
the payments start next month. What's so funny?
People say that there's 2 different days that you die. There's the day that your physical body leaves this world, and then there's the day that the last person who knows your name leaves. So take the time to learn the names and listen to the music of artists such as Uncle Scotchy, Baby Bear Lo-Fi, Soto Gardaki, Mr. E and Emily, Rat Bastard, or maybe even listen to my band. Because once again, Bruno has inspired me to keep going, and we have a new album coming out. We even invited Bruno to be a part of the music video for our first single. Because I realize that even if the struggle of finding shows takes me down a bit, I still want to leave these recordings as little time capsule and pieces that can eventually be found later on. But honestly, even if you don't listen to any of us, listen to the music of Lone Wolf One Man Band. Don't let that name die.
He's from the U.S.?
He was from the U.S.
Next victim!
I see what you're doing.
When the one levels up in life, you gotta be honest, okay? That's good advice from an older man. I've been around.
Oh my
Eddie.
God.
I've been around Eddie, okay? So don't ever talk back to me.
Oh my God! I didn't even get hit it.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I need to.
Is it hot in here?